Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Clayton Dembski Show, the Big Clayt podcast. Today is Sunday, August 2nd, coming to you live from Mill Valley, California, right about 8:11 p.m. Pacific Standard or Daylight Time. Once again, I do not know the difference at this time of year, but it's one or the other. We'll call it Pacific Time. What a weekend. What a weekend it's been. We've got a short blast today in terms of podcast structure. Don't have a list. Just going to riff, see if I can remember everything I did throughout the weekend. But man, it's been a really good one. Really fun one. Lots of community, did some business, and spent time with family, spent time with friends, got a bunch of sunshine. If you can't tell by my tint, if you will. So we're going to dive right into it. Let's go through a couple of pictures here. That's always a good way to remember what I did. Starting off with Friday. I guess that's kind of the weekend. Friday, I spent most of the afternoon and evening doing Clayton's Homemade Kitchen, my cottage food operation business, and we officially launched August 1st, 2026 with real products on the market and made some sales. So, also, by the way, got a little cover for the microphone. Make it look real legit. Too legit to quit. But look at that. It's like a real microphone now with a little $1.99 off Amazon. Little pop filter cover. So, Friday, I'm in the war room drinking Johnny Walker because I studied. No. I'm in the kitchen. I'm making tortilla chips. I got beef fat in a big cauldron, if you will. I've got it boiling. And we're frying chips. We're making Big Clayt's ranch tortilla chips, our playful take on a Cool Ranch classic Dorito. Seed oil free, clean ingredients, a little bit salt, quite salty, a little bit sweet, a bit zesty. Basically spent all of Friday afternoon and evening making chips. I produced about 33 4-ounce bags of chips. I should probably insert a photo here. Don't know if I'll get around to it tonight, but I got these nice little heat sealable bags that also have a zipper on them. So it's like what you'd buy granola in if you were to go to like a farmer's market. I hit record. All right, making sure I hit record on the old Ableton. So I got these nice bags. I printed up some labels. Been working on this for a while now. Been developing recipes for nothing too consistent, but for the last couple of years. And it really all came together this weekend. So 33 bags of chips. Got them all seasoned up. I was sweating bullets in this kitchen on a hot Friday afternoon, cooking, labeling, bagging, sealing, heat sealing. So that was Friday. Ended the day with a delicious Puerto Rican dinner over at Soul Food, walking distance from mi casa, and got a little pollo al horno chicken plate, sweet plantains, pink beans. You know the deal. You know what the fuck goes down. So did that. That was Friday. Tremendous day. I also hit a big God tier pump at the gym. I think that was Friday. Had a really good week of workouts as a bit of a segue here. Monday, hit a brick workout. I think I did 20 bike miles, 4 running miles, something like that. Tuesday, hit a big old chunky lift, weighted pull-ups, overhead press, the whole 9. Core, push-ups, arms, other shoulders, everything. Tremendous. Great lift, getting stronger. Wednesday, what did I do Wednesday? I think I hit another brick workout on Wednesday. I think I did 25 miles and a 5-mile run immediately after. Thursday, 6-mile trail run, 3 miles up Mount Tam, 3 miles down. Friday, big old lift again. Saturday, I guess we'll get into Saturday morning here as we go through the chronological order of the weekend. Saturday, I hit a 36-mile bike ride. Alice training for her half Ironman. She lives 14 miles away from me in San Francisco. She was doing 50 miles total as part of her training, so 14 to me. I hopped on the bike from my apartment, 36 miles from here, ended up at Equator, Mill Valley, downtown location. Had me a little iced latte, put some sugar in it because I was fresh off a 36-mile ride. So 6 days of tremendous lifts and workouts and runs and bikes and all of everything I just mentioned. So very good week for that. Feeling wonderful, to be frank. Feeling exhausted, but feeling wonderful. Took today off. Today's Sunday. Took the day off from workouts, but was on my feet a good bit, moved around a bit. So that was Saturday morning, big lift, Equator. Came home, was feeling a little creative in the kitchen, and I made dan noodles. I only had rice noodles, like pad thai noodles in the fridge, so I used those. Pretty good, pretty solid. Nice beef mixture, spicy chili oil, tahini, amongst other things for the dan noodle sauce itself. Topped it with the beef, chopped peanuts, scallions, and kind of messed me up, honestly, after a big bike ride, just putting down a enormous bowl of dan noodles, but delicious, fun to make, and good to get some carbs to recover after the big workouts this week. And then this is really where the weekend began, if you will. The plan was Saturday to head into the city to sell the chips, to inaugurate the opening of Clayton's Homemade Kitchen, which we did. My sister happened to be going to an event at Dolores Park in the afternoon, so I went there as well. And we sold chips all afternoon and into the early evening. I brought my wagon that I got for Christmas 2 or 3 years ago. It's been under my mom's house, just tucked away for years. Finally pulled it out, got to use it for the first time. Also on Saturday, before we went to the park, my nephew and my mom came over, and they hung out here for a little while, so we got to hang out with them before we went into the city. Anyway, in the city, doing business, selling chips, Dolores Park, sunny day. I think that's all the lines I got for it, but really fun time. We used a cardboard sign made out of my sister's business, Playa Wipes. Shout out Playa Wipes. Box from hers. We sold hella good chips. $8 a bag, tallow fried, seed oil free, and they're delicious, if I'm going to be honest. I love them. That's why I sell them. That's why I make them, because I love them myself. Pretty solid sign for just walking around. Did a little hooting and hollering, did a little really boots on the ground, real gritty sales out there. And it was very uncomfortable at first. I was pretty nervous, pretty scared, to be honest. And Alice was there with me. Kaki, my sister, was there. Her friend Colin was there as well. And I recruited them three to walk around with me and help me make some sales, which my sister was saying was a lot easier from her end. She sells Playa Wipes. That's her business. But she was saying how much easier it is for her to sell my product because it's not her own and because she doesn't necessarily have any skin in the game. It's not a reflection of her, whether it goes good or bad. So there's kind of a more guard down approach where you can just be yourself, be a little fun and fun-y, lighthearted, and really, really sell the product. So I'll be frank, they did more of the selling than I did. I mostly just pulled the wagon and kind of followed up with some questions and raised my hand when the groups of people we talked to would be like, oh, well, who makes them? And I'd be like, I do. And really rogue boots on the ground sales. So shout out to Kaki, Alice, and Colin for the tremendous help on Saturday. We sold out. Give yourself a little pat on the back. A little pat on the back for that. I brought 33 bags. I think we opened 3 or 4 of them for samples throughout the day, and we sold the rest. And that felt great. It was nice to do a little proof of concept, nice to do business, to be frank. Made my money back pretty early and then was able to turn a nice, decent profit throughout the rest of the sales of the day. Nerve-wracking, uncomfortable, really put myself out there, not just as a person, but also with the product that I made. We also received a bunch of good feedback. both good and critiquing or critical feedback, which was really interesting because every time we got negative or critical feedback, obviously you want to listen to it, and there are some important things, maybe some recipe, slight adjustments, some textural things, etc., some marketing, bagging, labeling, packaging things that we might adjust. But it didn't, none of it really stung. None of it really hurt. I think it was a good recognition of the fact that any consumer product out there is not going to be fit for everyone. That's why there's 10 boxes of basically the same mac and cheese, not the same, but very similar mac and cheese as an example on the shelves. That's why there's a billion different sodas. That's why there's a billion different tortilla chips, thick, thin, salty, not salty, flavored, seasoned, unseasoned. So many different options because the desires of consumers span so broad. And it was interesting to see that. It's also interesting to see how people react to free samples of homemade food in a public place. Interesting to see what your expectation of a group is going up to them, and then seeing how that is either confirmed or rejected in reality based on what your projection was. I would say the early 30s to mid 30s demographic was much more favorable than Gen Z and kind of younger millennials. Whereas, and also some older groups were fairly receptive. Let's see, what else? Racially, hard to tell. No racial biases out there, to be frank. We had just about every ethnicity, ethnic background, race of person buy chips. I would say the more, which we weren't expecting there to be any, we weren't expecting anything. I never even thought of that until I thought about it just now. But in terms of age, that's where it really stood out. It seemed like the 28 to 35 crowd was much more into it than the 18 to 27 or the 35 to 50 crowd. So again, just interesting. No pros or cons, no good or bad about that. Just what we saw. Definitely got some dirty looks. Definitely got some uncomfortable people out there, which is always, definitely not a reflection of us because we had great vibes, if I'm being honest, and a great product. And we're just trying to do business and make dreams come true one bag at a time. But some people seemed very off-put by it. Some people were very off-putting to us in their responses. Some people seemed like they were quite abrasive or disinterested at the beginning, but once you talk to them and explain it, they would perk up, they'd try a chip, their eyebrows would go up, their face would light up, they'd smile, they'd be like, oh, damn, that actually is pretty good. So yeah, it was very interesting. It was great to do it. I reckon I'm going to do it again next weekend. Maybe tweak the recipe a little bit in the meantime, and think of a couple other adjustments based on the feedback we got. The overall, for people who were like, yeah, I'll try one, but I'm probably not going to buy one, we would just ask that they give us a rating out of 10 and included any feedback. So I would say the most common rating out of 10 that we received was an 8. Most people were like, yeah, it's pretty freaking good. I would give it an 8 out of 10. We did tell them, be honest, not going to hurt any feelings. We had one guy who was like, it's like a solid 5, 5.5. Couple 7s, we got a couple 9s. But yeah, overall people seem to like the flavor, like the seasoning blend, which is a Big Clay classic. Here we go. Big Clay, pat on the back. But yeah, it was fun. And again, we sold out every single bag other than the ones we opened up for samplers. And I got to tip my cap to my sales and marketing team that worked with me, Kaki Alice and Colin. So tremendous. As a celebration, I went to Lolinda in the Mission Steakhouse, Argentinian steakhouse. What a meal. I love that place. Very consistent, very good at what they do. I got some pan de queso, little cheese bread balls with some whipped honey butter. I got a beef tartare. And then I got the gaucho steak, the large 26-ounce bone-in ribeye, and for dessert, cookies and milk, which is a vanilla milkshake with a dulce de leche plate of cookies. So tremendous Saturday. Really a lot of fun. My boy Rudy from New York, he's out here right now, taking some time away from the Big Apple to see his family and hang out and whatnot. So he came by to support, which was really nice. And we had a wonderful Saturday. So business is booming. Business has officially begun. August 1st, 2026, we started a business. And Clayton's Homemade Kitchen is going to blow up. It's going to eventually get into a commercial kitchen. I'm going to run a food line, food product empire. And that is how I'm going to make my money. So it's officially begun. We're underway, and we're going to keep marching forward. Sunday. Today is Sunday. What did I do today? Whew. I'm getting sleepy. Let's see. Today was a pretty good day. Just looking at some pictures to jar the memory. I woke up. I made an egg sandwich. I made a black coffee, and I pretty quickly after that went into San Francisco yet again to the Midway in the Dog Patch or South City or whatever area that is. Bayview? Maybe Bayview? I don't know. But Bayview. That sounds right. I could be wrong. But we went to the Midway. My sister, the founder and CEO of Playa Wipes, was attending an event at the Midway for Burning Man vendors. And she had a booth there. So as a thank you to her helping me out yesterday with selling, I went to her booth, again, with Alice and Colin, who was also there. So the same sales and marketing crew that sold chips was selling Playa Wipes today. Dembski kids, entrepreneurial, doing business. Went out there for like 3 hours in the morning. Really fun time. We just hung out. We're just in the hallway of the Midway. They had a DJ playing, bunch of booths set up. Really cool to see her business, my sister's business, Playa Wipes, and how she sells and what that looks like. And I don't have too much to say about it. It was a great time, and I enjoyed it. Put myself out there a little bit. And she did a good amount of sales in the time that we were there. It was good to see. It was impressive, made me proud. And yeah, we're all out here doing business, selling things that the people want and need. So that was a wonderful portion of the morning and mid-afternoon or early afternoon. Excuse me. And then, this is where it gets freaking going. I'll tell you what. Oh, also before I left to the city for the Playa Wipes event, I brined a chicken, salted a chicken, put it in my fridge for tonight. Thought of food because after the Midway, Alice and I went to El Farolito in the Mission for a burrito because I told her they're tremendous and she has to try one. I got an Al Pastor super burrito. I ordered in Spanish because I respect la cultura. I said, nos gustaría super burrito con pastor, con toro. Y también un super burrito con camarones y asada, sin aguacate. And that was it. And then I said, para llevar, to go. Shouts out homie at the front. It worked. He knew what I was saying. That means I enunciated well enough. And I get really nervous when I do that because I don't want it to come off disrespectful. And also because I don't really use much Spanish often, but I like to order in Spanish, and I did it today. So I conquered that fear, and I'm going to do it moving forward. So we got burritos. Alice got a steak and shrimp. She won the order battle today. I went classic with the Al Pastor. Delicious, but when you put it next to a steak and shrimp burrito, it really just, you can't beat that. So steak and shrimp was the winner. So delicious. It was one of the best El Farolito experiences I've had. Just a really good day, really good proportions in the burrito, really good ratios, really good spread throughout the burrito. And man, it was excellent. So that was late lunch after the event at the Midway. Ugh. Big yawn. I'm going to wrap this up soon. I'm getting tired. I'm exhausted, but came home from that, had some nice chit chat in the car before I drove Alice home, came back up to Marin and just rested for a couple hours, and then went up north to my mom's house because my oldest sister and my nephew were over there. My sister made spaghetti for dinner. I roasted a chicken that we didn't eat, but I plucked the meat off after dinner, and I'll eat that tomorrow. And just hung out with my nephew, chilled, and had a nice little partial family dinner. So that was the weekend. Came home after all of that to do this pod and get some thoughts down, keep the muscle going, because I've only done like 2 podcasts in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Hopefully more to come. Hopefully get the Instagram going for hella good chips out of Clayton's Homemade Kitchen. Fired up to be doing business, fired up to be alive, fired up to be free will maxing and making products legally that I can sell around town. Got to find some good spots to sell at, got to find some good avenues for it, got to find ways to maximize my economies of scale and really bring the price of production down, find ways to speed up the production so that it's less laborious, and really start fine-tuning things now that I know there's at least a little bit of product market fit. So one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, keep laying a brick every day. But we're fired up. We're happy to be doing this, and it's going to be a good week ahead. Big workouts, big business operations, and going to figure out what to do with my life. So as always, be great. Love yourselves, love each other, honor God. What time do we got? 8:33 p.m. Sunday, August 2nd, out of Mill Valley, California. Beautiful day to be alive. Beautiful day to eat something delicious. And a beautiful week to get the heck after it. So we'll sign it off there. We'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow or the next day for another pod. And we appreciate you, as always, for listening. So be good to yourselves. Adios.